Good afternoon, guys. Yeah, I know it's an afternoon video. What the hell? And while we all watch what's going on, that the Hurricane Ian has just made landfall in Florida. We'll see what happens. Looks like it's going to go out to the coast and then curl back in and hit South Carolina dead on. We'll see what happens. But right now, prayers to all those of you in Florida. Please stay safe. Your stuff can be replaced. You can't. And I'm assuming most of you in Florida, the last thing you're doing is watching a video right now. But just know, if you ever see this, our prayers are with you right now. Now, what I want to talk about is actually good news, believe it or not, at least for some people. Now, if you guys are familiar with what I've said many times, watch Europe, watch Australia, watch Canada for what's going on and what's coming our way. Now, you've got Justin Trudeau up in Canada, who has introduced a bill to Parliament about seizing firearms. I mean, and when I'm saying seizing them, I'm not talking about everything, or I mean, I'm pretty much talking about everything. This is not just assault weapons, okay? This also includes bolt action rifles, anything of the sort, shotguns, you name it. And, this is, again, the far left, which Trudeau is certainly part of, trying to disarm the population, because Canada's about as close to the United States as a way of thinking and that you're going to get. All right, Australia would be somewhat close, but Canada's about as close as it's going to be for freedoms. And Trudeau wants to disarm the people so they can't stage an uprising, if you will. Canadians are very, very independent-minded people. If you've ever known any, I mean, I lived up in Michigan, you guys know that, and I mean, knew a lot of people in the Windsor area. But I'm not even talking about those people. Let's talk about Western Canada. All right, this is what's important here. The Alberta Justice Minister, Tyler Shandro, came out today and said his province, and if you know where Alberta is the province that is basically directly north of Montana. Okay, so you're talking, if you want to use the term, the Wild West of Canada. Okay, Alberta will not participate in any attempts to seize firearms that Trudeau's government has recently prohibited. Okay, as he put it, and I'm going to give you the quote here. Alberta taxpayers pay over $750 million a year for the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and we will not tolerate taking officers off the street in order to confiscate the property of law-abiding firearms owners. So for those of you in Alberta, you actually have somebody that believes in your rights. Now, for a lot of us, depending on where you live in the States, we have similar thoughts out of our politicians, I mean, if you will. But this is a good thing. This is what it's going to take. It's going to take political leaders not only to stand up and talk the talk, but to walk the walk. All right, now I don't know if they're going to make it against the law for RCMP officers to go door to door, but I'm not exactly sure how Canadian law works, if RCMP is paid by the individual provinces or if they are paid by the federal government, okay, where they take their orders from as well. All right. But something to definitely put one in the win column for the patriots of Canada, and something for us to pay attention to. There, believe it or not, guys, there are still good people who have common sense in control of some aspects of government. Not everybody is a brainwashed Fidel Castro offspring like Justin Trudeau, or an Alzheimer patient like Joe Biden. So just a little bit of good news that I wanted to share that just came out, that we aren't, that at least Alberta is not going to confiscate weapons. That doesn't mean to, woohoo, everybody run to Alberta and do it or whatever. The federal government up there, is going to fight back. Okay, there's no question. But at least there's somebody on our side, if you will. And I know there's quite a few people who watch this channel from Canada as well. So, tell your politicians in your province to take the lead from Tyler Shandro, okay? Because he's the one that truly believes in the people and what the people stand for. I mean, I want you to think about this for a second, where Alberta is. And like I said, this is directly north of Montana, okay? Edmonton is the main city there, and again, I've never been there. My knowledge of what's up there is, the Edmonton Oilers are from there. Okay, that's about it. But I'm going to compare this to Montana, Idaho, that sort of stuff. Pretty much the same mindset. You have strong-willed, definitely physically strong, able-bodied people that live there that are going to cut their own firewood, build their own homes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, this is rough Western country. But you also think about what's there. This is, Rocky Mountains type area. There's a lot of wildlife. And I'm not talking about going and hunting deer. I'm talking about bears and mountain lions and, animals that can hurt you if you are not able to protect yourself from them. The logic of Mr. Sparkle Socks there with his, oh gee, let me wear my skinny suit, because I'm protected here in my nice little mansion. No, all right. The true patriots, if you will, the ones who make a living in this area, have to protect themselves from something. Now, what's he suggesting? Use your Swiss Army knife to protect yourself from a bear? Good luck, okay? A mountain lion? No. There was one time, and I'll just give you this story to end with here real quick. When I was down in Texas, when I was in my 20s, okay, and I was working in a bar, and there was some guy who was traveling around where wrestle a grizzly bear. And I think I might have told you guys this story before. And as big as I am, I was a little lighter back then, but a little younger too, but I was still the same size. And this bear, muzzled, gloves on or whatever it was so he couldn't claw me or whatever, no problem, put me right down. Okay, I actually got up and wrestled the thing. You aren't fighting a bear. Okay, and I'm not talking, this was a brown bear or a black bear. I think it was a brown bear. Now, yeah, maybe one of the two. I'm not a bear. No, it wasn't a grizzly bear. Okay, but these people need to protect themselves. At least this guy gets it. It's a piece of good news. You need weaponry to protect yourself, because the craziness that's going on in the United States is the same craziness that's going on in Canada. And whether it's, the animals of the wild or the animals that are Black Lives Matter and Antifa, you need to be able to protect yourself. This guy gets it. Anybody that doesn't, get them the hell out. Pinball out.